Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I have Greg Walters here today and Matt Delosier. Did I say that correctly? I keep wanting to correct myself on that. But welcome to the show. They are both from Northeast State, and you're here today to talk about Tennessee Promise.
Yes.
Is that correct? So tell me about this program, and for those of you at home, I know some of us know about it, some of us don't, so maybe just catch us all up. What is Tennessee Promise?
Well, Tennessee Promise is part of Governor Haslam's Drive to 55 initiative. Specifically, it targets the high school seniors for the class of 2015, and it provides tuition assistance in addition to any of the private scholarships or donor scholarships they may receive. It is considered last dollar, so they'll be looking at any federal or state aid. And if the student has a tuition need after that state aid or federal aid is applied, then Promise will kick in. So in essence, they will be tuition free.
That's amazing.
Yes, it is.
And this just started last year, a couple years. When did this start?
It actually will start next year. It begins with this year's graduating classes across the state of Tennessee. So students are preparing now by doing applications, and which is the one step of the process that I'm sure we'll get to. That it's beginning now, so to speak, for the whole state, for the seniors, and they'll be using the funding next year.
Okay, and there is a deadline that's coming up. So if you've got a senior, you're going to want to know when this deadline is.
Yeah, the application for the program is November 1st.
Okay.
For everyone in the state, so you can go online at a couple of different locations to complete that, and we'll go through that too, I'm sure. But November 1st is the first key deadline for students to understand is to apply for the program.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about some of these steps and what students need to be doing right now and parents need to be helping and whatever.
Well, at Northeast State, what we have done is we have established a web page. So it's located off a link off of our homepage. So students and their parents can go to northeaststate.edu/promise, and that it will be a portal to the application, fact sheets, information about the program, as well as how the community members can sign up to be mentors. There's a link for that there too.
Oh, neat.
We have a step-by-step instruction sheet that will guide the student through the Tennessee Promise application.
And is there anything that we need to do in advance before we get on, or forms or things that we might need handy? I mean, I'm just picturing like social security number, some basic things like this, right? So
it's what happens is the student is actually setting up their account with the Tennessee Student Assistance Corporation, and that's the government, the state entity that governs all of the state aid programs. And so the majority of the process is setting that account up. The actual application for Promise is very short and takes the least amount of time. But for students, they will need their social security number, and if they had gone in as a previous dual enrollment student or they've already applied for certain other programs and created an account, they'll have to have that same account information to log back in to do the Promise. So if they've already set up an account, they have to remember their login and their passwords.
So you all are going to be really busy this year.
Well, we already are.
So tell me a little bit about, and what am I missing? Anything?
Well, I think I'd just like to say this first. So far, our last numbers were that we signed up around between 1,200 and 1,300 students in the 5-county area that Northeast State serves.
That's amazing.
Have already signed up for the Promise. And we encourage anyone that is in high school this year, that is a senior, no matter what type of college you're thinking about attending, to make sure you apply for that. A lot of students are being told, I think, by different people that if they're going to go to a university, they don't need to complete the Promise application. But we know from experience at our school that a lot of plans change.
Right.
And you may think you're going to a university for one reason or another, or with certain funds or support that may not come through, or it could end up being more expensive than you thought it was going to be. And so then we have students that end up at our school that say, I missed a deadline from some previous programs. We know that students will come in and say, I've missed a deadline, and we don't want students to come in and say, I thought I was going to this university, so I didn't apply for the Promise by November 1st, so I'm not eligible. And the same is true with some of the other steps. After application, students will be being assigned to meeting a mentor, which we can talk about.
Is it a free process to get on? And
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
So no excuses, everyone.
Right. What's required of the student and the families, well, it's probably better to say the families, is that the students need to meet with a mentor a few times during the process of the application year, their senior year. But then they also are required to complete 8 hours of community service for each semester that they will receive this funding. And so it's a very different amount sometimes for a lot of people. So one person might receive a different amount from this program than another, but everyone has the same requirements to meet with mentors and to do that
Great.
community service prior to.
That's great. I mean, what an amazing opportunity for seniors. So definitely take advantage. You've got, the month of October to get together, and you say it doesn't take long. You just need to
Not at
have
all.
some of your important personal information handy, and it's free. And this is a great opportunity, and I'm sure enrollment is up at Northeast State, or will be going up.
We anticipate that.
Yeah.
And I will say we're so excited because when you think about it, we've been an active participant in this community for 50 years almost. 2016 is our 50th anniversary that Northeast State has been serving the Tri-Cities, and to have a state program validate what community colleges do in Tennessee and what Northeast State has done, we're beyond excited for the opportunities
amazing.
for the students.
Well, I'm glad that you all came in and talked to us about this today. And now, is there anything I'm missing that you want to get out?
I do want to just say that we still have a need for mentors.
Okay.
Part of the program is that the community itself that is benefiting from this, or its students are benefiting from it, that their skin in the game is to provide some mentor support for students. A background check could be required, but there are no college level requirements or anything of that nature for you to be a mentor. And Greg mentioned earlier that you can go through our website through the portal and find the place to apply or to sign up to be a mentor. You can choose your county and your high school.
Oh, that's great.
We can't choose the students you mentor, but you can drill down at least to the school.
Okay.
And we need roughly 360.
Wow.
That's an estimate of what
So
we
what
think
will
we'll
the
need.
mentor do?
Well, the mentor's job will be, they'll be trained by Tennessee Achieves, which is a partnering agency that will come out and say, this is how things work at Northeast State. These are the deadlines. This is what the financial aid application is going to require of you in February, which the February deadline will be February 15th. So, or the deadline for financial aid will be February 15th. So the mentor's job is really just to check in, encourage, make sure you're aware of the deadlines coming up, things of that nature. Very limited amount of time required, but very specific information that all the mentors will be giving. I would venture to guess if you ask people who've already been doing this type of mentoring through Tennessee Achieves, it would explain to you very different environments that they have with their students. It's really probably up to the mentor how much time they want to spend with them. But what's needed is what they estimate an hour a month.
Oh, okay.
So not much at all.
So very doable.
Yes.
Right.
Great. Well, thank you all for coming on and sharing with us about Tennessee Promise and what it is and how we all need to sign up and help. And if you've got a senior, you definitely want to sit down and get this process done. And if you're interested in being a mentor, I'm assuming maybe you have to be over 18 to do that, or over 21.
21.
So there's several opportunities for mentors out there if you're looking to give back some time and help out some young people. So thank you very much for being on today.
Thank you
We
for having us.
appreciate it. Yeah, of course. And we appreciate you tuning in. And that's all for today. We'll see you next time.